many women who feel like they're getting stuck, who feel like no matter how much work they do, that the needle isn't moving. They're not getting where they want to get. They're not getting what they want. It's because they're focusing on what they're doing. Do I have the right strategy? Am I on the right path? Is this the right way to do it? Am I doing it wrong? Do I need a better plan? What's the right next step? And while that is important, sometimes we may just become so focused on what is the best strategy, on how to get there. Am I on the right path? Am I making the right decision? That we forget to pay attention to how we're doing it. And this is where embodiment comes in, because you can have the perfect strategy and you will hit your goal. You will attain what you're working, like the thing that you want. But and you will get there miserable, feeling burnout. Maybe you were resented. Maybe when you get there, you realize this is not what I wanted and how I wanted it. You may have you can still chase your dream, but chase it from fear and have a horrible experience and still achieve success and not fully love yourself. You can still show up online and keep hiding yourself and not letting yourself be seen. You can still date and be in relationships, whether it's romantic or friendships, and still do it from insecurity or from making yourself more palatable or shrinking yourself to belong and to be loved and to feel loved. So there's many ways we can do a thing and achieve the thing, but how are we doing it? I think this is the missing piece for so many, and it's actually the reason we get stuck, because even subconsciously, often this can be the thing that is preventing you from taking the next step. Because deep down, you know that it's going to cost you something you haven't fully realized or you haven't fully acknowledged. And if you only switched the approach, the energy, the mindset, the emotional undertone of how you're doing it, that could reshape entirely not only your experience, but the magnitude of your vision, the impact of your actions, the outcome itself. And I'm not just talking about tangible outcome, more money, more impact, the life you want, the holidays you want, moving to another country, changing careers, living your 9 to 5, whatever it is that you're chasing. I'm not just talking about the tangible aspect, but the experience of the process is just as important. And also who you become, how you show up in the process, and eventually the feeling you're after. Because even if you are chasing a goal, even if you are pursuing your dream, if you get to the core of your desire, there is a feeling. There is a feeling, something that you want, either something that you're craving, a feeling that you're craving, something that you want more of, or something that you feel is missing currently in your life. More ease, more freedom, more joy, more satisfaction, more meaning, more space for you to take, to show up, more space for you to exist authentically and be fully yourself. And this is why I think so many women hit a wall after years and decades of personal development. myself included, because we don't take into account, we give too much weight, too much importance to, am I doing the right thing? Is this the right path? Is this the right way to do it? Am I supposed to be showing up like this? Am I supposed to say things this way? And even all of that, it's kind of hiding our heart, our core, who we really are, because we are still trying to package ourselves, trying to polish ourselves, trying to perfect ourselves. And often what we find at the end of the tunnel, on the other side, when we eventually get where we wanted to get, is that we lost ourselves in the process. And I don't want that to happen to more women. This was 3 years ago, 2 years ago, when my TikTok account blew up and grew really fast. I started working more with clients one-on-one, hosting workshops. I was having calls at 2 a.m., 3 a.m. in the morning because of the time difference. I was just pouring out so much energy. And of course, I was getting also satisfaction, fulfillment, joy, income back. But I was miserable in the process because my needs and what I thought I was attaining wasn't eventually how I felt. The reason I left my corporate job and pursued my dream, and built a coaching business was because I wanted more freedom. First and foremost, I wanted, well, two things: freedom and meaning. Like feeling like I'm doing something meaningful, I'm doing something that aligns with my purpose, who I am, my calling, and doing something where I can actually teach from lived experience. Here's how I overcame all of this, and here's how I can help. And freedom wasn't how I felt. I was actually more stressed out, more burnt out, and eventually I needed to, I actually kind of wanted to burn it down to the ground, what I had built up until that point. And I kind of did, because that was the moment where I took a whole year to reset, deactivated my TikTok, completely pivoted my account. At that point, my coaching business was mainly in Italian, and I wanted to go back to English, which is what I was doing before that. Because if you are a non-native English speaker, or if you speak multiple languages, you probably notice that different aspects of yourself come alive based on the language that you're speaking, which is so awesome. And for me, I feel like my coach Marina and personal development Marina is fully expressed and is meant to be sharing and spreading the message in English. So that was one reason why I pivoted. But I mean, who I became in the process, and I'm so grateful for everything I've learned, wasn't who I was expecting to become. I was like, okay, so this is it. It doesn't feel like I envisioned. And when you are at that point, it's important that first you don't make yourself wrong. There was a lesson in there I needed to learn. So the next time I'm rebuilding, the next time I'm pivoting, I can use this lesson and avoid repeating the same mistake. The point is not to never make mistakes. The point is to learn from them. We need mistakes so we can apply the lesson, you know. And I took that whole year to rebuild in English on platforms where I felt I could fully be myself and not package my voice, not worrying about formatting and everything. Platforms where I went on an experimentation journey. I tried Pinterest, I tried more of Instagram. I'm on Threads, I'm loving it on Threads, and I started a YouTube channel. This is day 25, so almost a month ago, and a podcast too. So I tried different mediums to see what felt right, because you can think about what is the right strategy all you want, but nothing will give you that information that you need as actually giving yourself permission to try it. Go do it. That is the only way you will know for sure how it feels and if it's exactly what you want and how you want it. I think we, the reason we, the main reason we play smaller than we want to be, the main reason we hold ourselves back is because we don't give ourselves permission. Most of the times, it's just that you need to give yourself more permission to go do the things, to do it wrong. Take notes, learn, pivot, start again, and trusting the process. And yeah, I think the question in pursuing our goals should be as much about why I want it as it is about who do I want to become? Who am I becoming in the process? And also what I'm creating. How do I want, what do I want to offer, and how do I want to, what is the kind of contribution I want to make? How do I want people who enter my space feel and leave once they got the experience, the thing they needed? Whether it is a session, a mentorship, a video, watching a video, or reading a piece of content. How do I want people to feel? And how do I want to feel? Who do I want to become in the process? I think that is the missing piece, most often than not, of why we're stalling, why we're getting stuck. Yes, focus on the outcome. Yes, focus on the goal. Yes, focus on the steps. But don't forget how you are being, how you are, what you are embodying, how you're showing up in the process, because that will give you more information than anything else on how to, on the tweaks and the adjustments that you need to make and you want to make along the way. Yeah, let's end it there. If you know, if you know you are playing smaller, if you secretly know you're playing smaller than you want to, check out the link in the description box. The Bigger Life is my digital kit. There is a workbook, there's audios that will guide you through action steps, exercises, practices to actually build the life you want from this place. Not just actions, but also beingness and embodiment. All right, you guys, I will see you tomorrow.